Episode 2 of Blue Lock starts with Henry speaking at the GFU meeting, stating that at this rate, Japan will never win the World Cup. Hirotoshi is fine with it as long as they gain enough money and mocks her for believing that Japan stand a chance at winning. Henry states that they can and claims that the only one who can help the country win is Jinpachi Ego. As the tag game ends, Kira cannot understand what happened. Ego congratulates the winners and tells the losers are out. Kira gets angry that such a silly game will determine his career and yells at Ego that he is more talented than the others there. He also wonders what the game has to do with football. Ego explains that in Blue Lock everything has to do with football, and if he looks around he will see the area they are in is the size of a penalty area from where 75% of the goals happen, and if he can't work in this space he has no talent as a striker. As a running player in this tag game, the striker needs a keen sense of interpersonal space, tactics and positioning, while the running player needs to have dribbling and precise aiming. Kira is still angry as in normal game you play 90 minutes and he can't measure his talent in just 2 minutes. Ego explains that on average the total amount of time any player spends on the ball in a 90-minute game is 136 seconds, but Ego questions if he would do the same if it was a normal game. He explains that when the ball hit Kira he had 1 second before time runs out and he could have kicked it at Igarashi, but he didn't. Similarly, if it was a normal game he would have given up instead of taking the chance to kick it and score. Ego states that in this tag game if you hold the ball for too long you are the loser, but it can also be the win as only you can decide who to hit next. Ego states that Yoichi aimed for someone stronger and Bachira stole the ball and aimed at the strongest, which is the egoism he is looking for. Kira still can't accept and gets super angry as he leaves. Isagi wonders why he kicked the ball, but he feels pumped up. He asks Bachira why he passed him as he could have just ignored the ball and eliminate Bachira, but Bachira states his face was saying he will kick. As results only matter here. He believed in Isagi and won. Ego tells to remember what victory feels like as each time they win the ego will grow. He then congratulates them on passing the admission exam. The 11 will form Team Z and will live and work together, but sometimes betray each other. On day 3, Team Z is training in the gym and Isagi sees that Raichi runs faster than him and Kuwa jumps higher. At the cafeteria they get rice and miso soup, but their side dish changes depending on their rank. At night, Isagi can't sleep as he recalls Raichi, Kira and Kuwan being better than him and decides he needs to do something or he will be kicked out next. As he leaves the room, he meets Bachira, who invites him to train with him. Isagi asks Bachira how did he knew he would aim at Kira, and Bachira states it's because there is a monster inside him. Isagi wonders what he means, and Bachira explains that when he plays, a monster comes out and tells him to score a goal. But at that time, the monster told him to pass to Isagi as there is a monster inside of him too. Bachira states that when he plays, he listens to the monster and wonders if Isagi hears it too. Isagi doesn't know what he means, but when he kicked the ball at Kira, he didn't feel like himself and now wants to know what this monster is as it may help him survive Blue. Bachira believes all the great players have monsters inside them, but they get an announcement that the results of the fitness tests are out and everyone needs to return to their rooms to confirm their latest rank. Going back to the Team Z room, Igarashi shows that his rank is now 275 and Isagi sees he is 274. Ego shows on screen and asks them how they are doing. Ego reveals that the first selection will involve the 55 players in Building 5. The 5 teams there will play against each other and the top 2 teams will move on to the second selection. Team Z starts to argue who will play in what position. Ego interrupts them and states that the football was originally with only strikers and they should create the ball from zero. Henry states that the Japan's football had improved in the last years and they are now closer to the top than before, but to be in the top they need an extra step like this project as it's time for the current Japanese football to die. Ego tells the players that they don't need teamwork but one hero. Football evolves when a hero like that exists as new tactics are born to stop him. The GFU conference ends but the media are angry. However, Itoshi decides to stay in Japan and see what kind of idiot will be born. Then Team Z comes out to face Team X. So what do you think about this episode? I think it's an amazing episode, and if you like this video don't forget to give it a like and subscribe.